Okay, no reason to keep everyone continuing on waiting. We have a full boat in this webinar. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So Unleashing the Power of the Genius Token is the title of this webinar. It's a quick startup roadmap to success. So just some housekeeping before we officially get started here. This webinar is going to last about 20 minutes. Now, you can ask questions as you go, but not to interrupt the flow. We're going to answer them at the end. And they're going to be anonymous, so don't worry about asking questions that are too dumb or what may be perceived as dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb question here. But we're going to go ahead and put this webinar on recording on the internet where it's going to live who knows how long. So we don't want to interrupt the flow with answering questions as we go. So we'll just save those all for the end. So legally, I have to say that nothing you hear today should be construed as financial advice or legal advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm simply a Genius Token community member, and nothing in this video should be considered as legal or financial advice. Let me go ahead and share this with you. Actually, this screen, if you feel like it, you can go ahead and just pause this part if you want to look at all the legal mumbo jumbo. So let's go ahead and get started with the content of the webinar. Oh, by the way, stay to the end of this webinar, and we're going to go ahead and have a special gift for everyone who is able to absorb all the content. Please note that the gifts presented may not be available to those who are watching this recording once it's out there live. We don't know how long it's going to be out there on the internet, so just go ahead and always follow up with us before actually executing the free gift that we give you. It'll make a lot more sense on the last slide. My name is Mike Volkin. I am a community member at the Genius Token. Also joining us is Robert Janito, who's one of the Tokenomics leads of the project, and also Crispy Rose here, also a community member, will be helping answer some questions. We're all Genius Token holders, community members, and Robert is one of the many tokenomics experts behind the Genius Token and one of the world's foremost tokenomics experts. He actually helped Dash get to number 3 on the global crypto charts, if any of you know Dash. And if you don't know what tokenomics is, it's basically a mashup of the word token and economics, and it describes the factors that impact a token's use and a token's value. All right? Okay, so let's get into it. The goal of the Genius Token is to be the world's greatest store of value. So a store of value is any asset that retains its value over time. So the ideal store of value would be one that has little risk and can be trusted to stay valuable well into the future. As a token holder, you are incentivized to lock away, aka stake, some value for a length of time and receive daily revenue based on market timing and trading conditions through its built-in artificial intelligence. Okay, so the daily revenue, by the way, is also based on real sources of revenue. Unlike the other tokens out there that have artificial intelligence and revenue, AI largely in crypto, from what I've seen, is basically a buzzword. It doesn't have real artificial intelligence like the Genius Token does. So Genius is a token that uses artificial intelligence to perpetually create a better future economy to overcome past negatives. And the more you know about Genius, the more you'll realize it's actually genius. So one of the reasons that it's important to understand the idea of a store of value is that cash always depreciates, right? Due to inflation, which central banks often try to keep at or around 2% per year. Money loses purchasing power constantly. So without going into too much detail, the fiat system, the paper currency, is outdated, it's broken, and it's designed to keep people poor. So your alternative is to gamble in the stock market, buy risky real estate, which requires cash and another gamble. You're gambling on market appreciation most of the time. Or you can get a savings account, which any of you that have a savings account know that pays 0 or next to 0 interest, right? So the rise in the popularity of cryptocurrency, especially DeFi, which is decentralized tokens, are a testament to how more and more people are recognizing a new alternative and monetary system is needed. But then people begin to struggle with, well, what tokens do I hold, right? There's tens of thousands of them out there. There are so many tokens and cryptos, created every single day. And some of them are just fun. Some of them are just meme coins and tokens that just like have no value whatsoever. They're simply designed to basically steal your money. They're just designed to pump it and then dump it. And this is because anyone can make a coin or a token. However, the creators of Genius are not just anyone. So the Genius white paper is the most in-depth and detailed writing about any token out there. Now, people from the team who went public say that there's over 35 people on the team that went to create Genius. The Genius engineers are some of the world's brightest economical minds in the game. Brightest economical minds. They're experts in game theory. And they are some of the leading tokenomics experts available in the world. Now, Genius has come to solve major problems in finance that experts once believed were unsolvable. And the question at this point is, now that you know that the fiat system is designed to keep people poor and your alternative is to basically gamble or have lots of cash or both, you're now looking at DeFi cryptocurrencies and saying, well, which tokens can I trust? So let me just outline some of the top ways that you can trust a token. I have 7 different ways here. First of all, the token itself should have actual utility. That means a real function to it. Okay, that's number 1. Now, number 2, the token should have a website and an active and helpful responsive community. So the website for the Genius token, by the way, is thegeniustoken.com. And there are many active and friendly communities with thousands of members on both Telegram and Discord in multiple languages as well. Okay, number 3 for how do you trust a token? You have to look at the token's white paper. Okay, now the token's white paper should be audited by an independent security firm. Most white papers and most tokens actually are not audited at all. But if it's audited by an independent security firm to ensure it ensures it aligns with the smart contract. Now, a smart contract, for those of you who don't know, are simply programs stored on a blockchain that run once someone has transacted with the contract. In other words, the white paper shows how the token will function, and the smart contract is the code that executes that function. Okay, so the audit ensures that they align. Now, with that said, Genius has one of the most comprehensive, well thought out, and highly acclaimed white papers in the cryptocurrency industry, with an unheard of triple audited smart contract. It's been audited 3 different times. Now, another way to trust a token is that it should not be able to be manipulated by a person, a group, or an entity. Now, this is important because many tokens out there can be manipulated by a person or entity, leaving the token holders vulnerable. And it's important to note that Genius is completely decentralized. It is immutable, which means it cannot be changed, the code. So it has no admin keys. It cannot be exploited by any human privilege. And furthermore, no one gets tokens for free in terms of engineers. Now, this is important because it is common that token engineers will also be compensated with that token. And this can bring the token's value greatly at the expense of the interest, of the engineer's interest in the token. If that happens, that the token itself will never gain momentum in order to provide a return for the token holders, because the engineers have the ability to get it for free. Okay, so number 6, the token should be on multiple chains. Genius in itself is on 5 different chains, and it is one of the first multi-chain tokens. And also, the last of my 7 points here on how to trust a token is the token should have a reputable team, which means that the team should be trusted and have experience. So the handpicked Genius team actually contains the world's foremost authorities on tokenomics experts, smart contract developers, and other experts. Now, many of them have experience working on some of the world's most important and fastest appreciating cryptocurrencies that have ever existed. Okay, so now moving on to the tokenomics portion of the white paper. I'm sorry, of the webinar. Now, the white paper in itself has extremely detailed math behind the tokenomics of Genius. The tokenomics behind the Genius token is quite literally why the token is called the Genius token. Take a look at the very detailed white paper of the Genius token, and you don't have to understand everything, understand the math. In fact, very, very few would. But just look at how well thought out it is from all angles, and you'll be quite surprised. So in a recap, first of all, fiat money is outdated and designed to keep people poor. It's designed to slowly siphon money away from the average person, making them poorer and poorer over time. And you need to put your money to work, and a savings account doesn't cut it. The stock market doesn't cut it. Real estate industries, create wealth, but very, very few. You have to have capital. You have to take a gamble, and only a select few can actually get wealthy from it. So cryptocurrency is growing as a viable option, but you have to be careful about the hypes and the scams. Genius checks every box, okay? It's trustworthy, it's innovative, it has proven utility, and it definitely has long-term potential. So what is that utility of the Genius token? Well, it earns high yield passive income without going through middlemen like the banks, which take a ton of the portion of any income or passive income that you would get from, say, fiat. Now, stability and collateral pools is another function of the utility. Now, this is an advanced topic that we're going to discuss in the Simply Genius video series, which is actually found on the website. And these pools help absorb the shock and panic of any selling activity. And it also incentivizes buying. Okay, NFTs. Now, these allow Genius functionality to be expanded in the future without changing the underlying constitutional code. This is immutable stuff. This is also an advanced topic that we're going to discuss in the Simply Genius video series, which is always being updated. So take a look at that class we have on this. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick pause and we're going to watch a video on how to buy and stake Genius. So now that you understand the very light overview concepts and utility of Genius, we're now going to watch a video on how to buy it, and then we're going to circle back here for the special gift and conclusion. Okay. So to stake or mine Genius, go to the start.jenny.app website. Make sure your wallet is connected and you're on the right chain. In this case, I'm connecting MetaMask and using the Binance network. You'll see the Genius logo doing its thing, which means it's loading. So once it loads, you'll see your total supply of Genius. Simply click Create Miner. Make sure Genius is selected in the blue at the top. Enter the amount of Genius you want to stake, and then the number of promise days. You can stake all the way out to 4,444 days. Then, select if you want to do a basic or advanced miner. If you are unsure of the difference, refer to the white paper at jenny.to/smart contract under the section Genius Mining Policies. You can also refer to the section on mining in this video series. Once everything is selected and entered to your liking, click Create. You'll get a pop-up that you will need to sign for the transaction. Click Sign, then click Confirm. Now, just wait a few seconds for the confirmation. You'll get a notice that the transaction is complete. You now see the staked Genius in your dApp. Some people get confused by the term IQ share, which is under the staked Genius amount.
IQ shares are a cut of your daily yield from a miner against all miners in existence with respect to its yearly inflation of 4.2%. When you enter a stake, your funds get burned and you are issued shares according to which your miner accrues rewards. The shares are returned to the contract when your stake ends.
Okay, so I hope you understood and was able to absorb the information in that video. So now what we're going to do is talk about this special gift. So you made it to the end of this webinar. I want you to buy and start mining at least $300 worth of the Genius token, and we're going to send you $25 USD worth of Genius to your wallet. So this deal is for new Genius crypto holders only. And I want you to simply email support@thegeniustoken.com with your wallet address, the hash link showing the deposit, and a screenshot of the stake. And we're going to send you $25 worth of Genius. Please email us first, though, because as I mentioned, this is going to live on the internet, and this deal may be over by the time you're watching it, and it may not. So we encourage you to reach out to us first. So in conclusion, first of all, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. I realize it's valuable. If we don't get to your question after this webinar, or we're going to take questions soon, you can always email us, especially if you're watching the replay of this and live people aren't available via chat. I want you to email us at support@thegeniustoken.com, and one of our friendly community members will help you. We're an extremely friendly and helpful community. We encourage you to join our community. It's a Telegram group. It's linked on the website. There are a ton more things to learn about Genius and lots of assets and support at your disposal. Lastly, we do have a free monthly newsletter. So if you want to stay on top of Genius and the news, new features, be sure to sign up at the website as well. And the last thing I want to say is, being a Genius token holder isn't about just having a great token in your portfolio. Okay, it's about being a part of a movement. All right, it's about a movement that will usher a new financial system that will change the world. And you will be at the very early ends of it. You'll be an early adopter of that movement. So go ahead and add this to your portfolio, learn as much as you can about the Genius token, and spread the word. Again, thanks for joining me.